Today we have off.call competition. I have no idea what it is, and as usual, I'm a bit late, so we'll have to figure out as we go. But that is just some random competition on yet another competitive programming platform that I came across at silis.by. So if you go to resources, if you go to resources, and you will see a lot of resources, and one of them is top.co, and apparently it conducted some serious number of competitions, and it also has rating, so you know that's a clear candidate. We have some problems here. Looks like I'm bad at counting. Looks like 10 problems. They're all valid 100 points. So let's see. Problem A, butcher of vowels. So where is the actual problem begins? Okay. So we'll read the entire story because it looks like it's 3 hours competition, which means that I don't care that much about our speed. So Geralt of Riva is a legendary witcher of the School of the Wolf, active throughout the 13th century, whatever. During the trial of the grasses of herbs, Geralt exhibited unusual tolerance for the mutagens that grant witchers their abilities. Accordingly, Geralt was subjected to further experimental mutagens, which rendered his hair white and may have given him greater speed, strength, and stamina than his fellow witchers. After undergoing the trial, Geralt became a powerful monster slayer. Cool. Apparently, magicians have no better things to do than to slay monsters. No, like scientific research, no thank you, just slay some monsters. We don't even bother building a wall to protect ourselves from monsters. We'll just slay them as they go. They come. So Joel's story is not one of those heroes. Instead, it's a story of a professional. Okay, his profession is to kill monsters, but he only kills a monster if it's evil or harmful to other beings. I thought that that's the definition of a monster, but whatever. How does he determine if the monster is harmful, you may ask? Well, it's in the name of the monsters. Interesting enough. Well, like, if you think about it, not all monsters can speak. And therefore they don't actually, determine their names. So after all, it's still up to us humans to decide which monsters are harmful and which ones are not. Okay. So if the name of the monster contains anything, the monster is considered as evil. In the problem, you will be given the names of the monsters. You have to determine whether Geralt will kill them or not. Okay. I'm a bit lazy, so we'll code this in Python. Bro, I'm not ready at all. Yeah, new folder, whatever. So we have several test cases. Above in Python we do it like this. Then we read a string, which is a name. Yes, if the monster is evil. Oh, okay. We'll define a function evil, which will take a string as an argument, which will output boolean value. And I'm assuming that this font should be better. And then we'll print yes if evil, else no. So because the string is really short, we can just check in the following manner. So we iterate over all vowels, and we check if vowel in string return true. Otherwise we return false. I will use unaccounted PowerShell prompt because I believe it has more recent version of Python. Just in case. I don't remember what the style guide says about the leading space, if it's 0, 1 or 2 lines, but generally between the top level declarations you have 2 white lines. Let's take, oh, we can copy like that, thank you. How about Hold on, can I? Wait, I can't redirect input as such. Okay. Oh, you have to SDC in. Yeah, whatever. As a map actually would be nice if we say something like that. I believe there is like subtle, or rather not subtle, but significant difference in performance, so can we do it now? No. Oh, we can pipe. But not cat, but wait, we can just type pipe, we'll see. Or whatever, I will just leave it to. I cannot run a document in the middle of a pipeline. There is some strange thing going on. I was not ready to that. Wait, so it works here but not here? Whatever. Screw it. So the answers are no and yes, which appears to correspond with what we want. Not this files we want. Tough. Where's tough? Okay. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay. So apparently we were quite slow because we were figuring out all the details, but people people do not solve problems consequently. It makes sense. But I think that we can afford it. So problem B, no more child labor. Child labor is a global crisis. As you are a problem solver, you need to be aware that many children like you are deprived of education and being forced to go to work. I mean, that's a high school competition, so makes sense. This is a real life problem you have to solve in the near future when you will be a great programmer and impactful to the society around you. Society? No, society. Here I will tell you the story of Deepta. He works at a factory far away from his home. He needs to feed his physically disabled mother and his little sister. Deepta lives in a city, which can be represented as grid n times m size. Each cell contains a lowercase English alphabet. He lives in 1 cell and goes to work at an m cell. Yeah, sure, like the opposite corner of the city is the most reasonable place to work. Each cell contains a... Yeah, he can move from xy to x plus 1 y or xy plus 1 only. As you can guess, there are many paths from 1 to nm cell. Deepta likes to take good paths in his way from home to the workplace. A path is called good path if and only if you can make a palindrome string by taking and rearranging the characters found in the path. A palindrome is a word, number, phrase, or other sequence of characters which read the same backward and forward, such as madam or race card. People like you want to establish schools for children like Deepta. Now they want to know how many good paths will contain a school if you establish a school in AB cell. Okay. I don't think that we want to solve it right now. I think that we want to solve problem E code generator because it looks like some people are solving it. Problem E, Deepta has a string s and 1 second Disha. Deepta is the other guy. Poor guy. So Disha has a string s and 1 second Disha can choose a subsequence from s that makes the word code and remove it from the string subsequence. The process will be continued until she can't choose a subsequence that make the word. This problem, good letters mean C, D, or E, all and other letters are bad. And we have to find the maximum number of seconds Disha will work. So we have quite a few characters. Potentially many of them can be good. Okay, no, I think it's like not that smart, but we'll see. I think that what you need is the following. So like, we'll define a constant word because we'll need it. Then we got the first letter. Okay, the first line contains input number. Second line contains a string, and I think that we want to do the following. So as we process well, I have several counts. Let me think about it. My idea is that we append, whenever we encounter a character, we know which subsequence we want to append it to. But apart from that, no, it requires figuring out what is like the starting position of what happens overall. I think that I want the following. Actually, we have like infinitely many subsequences that all are at position 0 of the word. And probably like landlord actually. And then we say for letter in string, in input string, for every possible position, well, I can like improve it a bit, but yeah, I can. No, I want to write it a bit more generic. We will try to update the longest thing first. So if character is equal to word at index I and counts at I minus 1, and there, if like this is the ith character, and we have a subsequence which currently ends at I minus first character, then we take this one and we move it here and we stop doing our work. Also with an asana, I think. There's one subtle issue, and that is that we actually want to do it like that. And we want to print counts of lengths of the word. So we keep track of how many subsequences of which lengths we formed, and we try to continue the longest ones. That makes sense, hopefully. C is not defined because I named it letter. 2, and 2 is the correct answer. I don't know if there is a penalty for doing something stupid. But it sounds like we should test our code more, but not today. I'm a bit lazy today, so we'll just, yeah, cool. I think it means that we got accepted. By the way, is there anything like, oh, standings, okay. Also we have submissions. Okay, so apparently not all people are solving all problems. And nobody has solved more than 2 problems. Oh, but there is a penalty. Okay, so potential penalty. And we also see checkmark here. Cool. Uh, what other problems are people solving, or at least partially solving? Let me take a look at this stance. Somebody solved B, which is kind of impressive. Somebody solved J. I assume that we want to look at J. Arrange the bricks. We have n bricks, two-dimensional bricks of the dimension 1 times n. Okay. Bricks, dimensional dimension. The bricks are a table. And actually, I remember id est. I think in Latin it's like ee. IE is like id est. Or that's it. No, I don't know. If you're not more Latin than I know, which is likely the case, then let me know in the comments. So the bricks are a table, which means that we can turn the brick dimension 1, 2 into 2, 1. By the way, another dimension. We are adding another dimension to this problem. Now we have to determine how many different rectangular shapes you can create by arranging the bricks. Two rectangular shapes are different if their dimensions are different. There should be no space left in the rectangular shapes that you can create. Okay. Dimensions a times b and b times a are considered the same. Now that is combinatorics problem. We'll see. So the first things first, we have to save our file as JPy. I keep forgetting about that button. It's like, it's very subtle, it only appears when you hover over it. Which I think is not ideal, like you want to see the button like always. So that you know you can copy. And not like you go here, you start copying and then you say, oh, I could have copied. Right? Also, we have variable white space at the ends. Yo, dude, what, how did you generate this file? There is white space, but here is no white space. It's new line character. So, for example, here you see 2 spaces. We can clearly see it in Sublime Text. Okay. So, n is a number of bricks. Now, as you may have noticed, area is 2 times n, right? Good. Now, I imagine that we want to loop over all possible divisors. Oh, we also have several test cases, which is not ideal. No, but that's too much, no? This is something strange. I think it's too much. Like if you have lots of 2 big rectangles, you have to quickly count the divisors. I don't know how to quickly count the divisors. Quicker than like square root sign. Probably there's some trick which speeds up computation if you need them for like all numbers in some range, but here we don't have that advantage because we're actually talking about a bit too big range. Range that is a little bit too big. A little bit too big. A little too big. Okay. So what I imagine, I want to select divisors. You are always able to construct a grid, I'm pretty sure. Like if one side divides it, and you can, in one of the sides is always even, so you just partition it into 2s and you do whatever you want. So makes me actually think that we can just partition n. That's not clear. So what do we do? I think that we take square roots of the area and then loop up to that range plus, I don't know, 10. Now I actually can run down and add 1. I think this is the correct way of doing our business. So we would like to check that the divisor is even, or do we? I think we don't care. That is some strange operator highlight. Remember that if you're using fast input output, then you want to put new line character at that. Although in this problem it's irrelevant actually, because you only have 100 test cases. So. Oh, that's because we have invalid syntax. I forgot one. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. I think that's good if we can, if it works in PyPy. Maybe fast enough. No, it's not fast enough. It's not fast enough. But I honestly don't know how to speed things up. Okay. Oh, by the way, I just googled one thing. I don't know why recording paused, but whatever. So I just googled count of divisors in that time, and apparently you can do something smart here. So this loop is more or less identical, and here if it's 0, then we do something. I think we should separate it, so into a separate function. So what you do is you do this and somehow it works. Why actually? Oh, that's naive, right? Oh, okay. So we'll need okay, can we just copy paste it? We'll have to refactor it a bit. Alright, so sieve. this is not how you create an array of primes. N plus 1. Why do I need a p prime square, whatever? P0 equals P1 equals false. Prime square is true if it's a square of a prime. Makes sense. One is not a prime number. I already did that. You do it differently, but whatever. You take square root of n and you add 1, and that's your loop. If it's prime, equals true, whatever. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. For multiplier in range, you start in d squared, go up to n, add d at a time. You say prime at multiplier is false. If it's prime. Oh, so it's like is prime. And you actually have prime. Prime square. This, well, it's only if less than or equal to n. Okay, so we have sieve. EP is prime. And PP is prime square. And then P is prime. Primes, because it's a list. And after all of that, you, I assume, return is prime square, and then primes. So n is an integer, maximum integer. And then you return a tuple of 3 lists of, well, actually of Boolean list, another Boolean list, and then a list of integers. Okay, count divisors. No, not like that. So we'll need to see if ten to the 14th, I believe, is the limit. Oh, but we can't do it that big, right? No, 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 no. 10 to, let's say 10 to the 6, to the 5th, because they talking about the square root, so it should be fine. I will make them global because I don't know how it works actually. We start counting at 1. No, that was answer. This is a power. This is not hardly compute cube. Okay, so far so good. So I think I know what's going on. So we look like over all primes that we got from our sieve, and we think, like we count the power in which n is divisible by this prime. And then we use the formula for number of divisors, which is like product alpha I plus 1. It's the count of divisors, where the number itself is product of prime I to the power of alpha I. Because you get divisors by choosing beta I, which is at most alpha I, and at least 0 for every I. Obviously you have alpha I plus 1 integer choices, and that leads to this formula for number of divisors. So here for small primes we do just this. Okay, makes sense. Now for bigger primes, actually for this to work we need our sieve to go all the way up to 10 to the 7th, which is a bit uncomfortable. If n is still very large. No, I think, no. Right, it's frustrating. The idea was to count up to these guys, because after we did all of this, n can only be divisible by squares, right? N can only be divisible by prime square. Does this help? I'm not sure. I actually think that if we look our primes, there are not that many primes. So we may as well just count. So my suggestion is that we don't use that, we are not going to try to be that smart. What we'll try instead is we'll try to loop over all primes. While n is divisible by z prime, we will divide and we will increment power. And my reasoning is that it's kind of quick to loop over all primes because there are not that many primes up to 10 to the 7th. You ask Wolfram Alpha about it? They'll probably answer something like so less than 1,000,000 primes. So we, by performing one sieve, we cut down the complexity of this thing, I believe, by 10 times or something like that. We can check that it's still valid. Oh, the sieve takes some time. That's surprising. And also our answers appear to be wrong. Why is that? Oh, I think we only wanted to count divisors up to square root of n. Okay, yeah, makes sense. So if this is actually equal to area, then I want to, means that we ignored one, but then at the end we will print like this. I'm afraid that this sieve is a bit too long, but it produces correct answers, but I think that it's too long, it takes too long. Well, we can try, you know, maybe my PC is a bit slow. Okay, no, CV is reasonable. Okay, so we are lagging a bit behind some people with +1. Problem H is getting a lot of solves. So we'll take a look at it. Well, I believe I actually clicked the wrong button. Problem H. So yeah, C with your friend even up to 10 to the 7th is too quick. It's too quick for these time limits to stop it. Problem H interactive GCD. Alice and Bob does not deserve our respect, and therefore we will always write Bob not in capitals, but in lowercase letters. They are playing a game of interactive GCD. The game engine has a secret array of lengths n consisting of integers in range from 1 to 100. The players take turn alternatively. In each turn, a player chooses a subsequence of index from the array which is not chosen before. If the GCD of the elements in that subsequence is 1, then the player gets a point, otherwise they don't get a point. The game ends when there are no subsequences left to be chosen, so it can be shown that the game will run for 2 to the power of n minus 1 turns, where n, I assume, is length n. Okay. At the end, whoever has higher points wins. If both of them have equal points, and then it's a draw. Okay, that's some complicated statement. As Alice and Bob are best friends, no one wants to defeat other one and make him her sad. They will play the game if and only if there is a chance that they will get a draw. Formally, they will only play if the probability that the game will end a draw is non-zero. As mathematicians, both believe in probability, and before playing the game they want the engine to be inspected. They have given you the responsibility to inspect the engine and tell them whether they should play or not. To inspect the engine, you can ask some question about the secret array to the owner. The owner is smart. It will not reveal the array, rather you will give it an integer and it will reply with how many elements in the array are divisible by that integer. Whoa. "32 queries, 64 queries. So we cannot reveal the entire array. How many primes up to 100? 25 primes. What if I ask about prime powers? Powers. Okay, they don't tell me, but I assume it's relatively small as well. Print start and float the... Oh, I forgot how to solve interactive problems in Python. Let me take a closer look. We can std out flush. Okay. And below we wanted h pi. And well, all of that. I still want this. Let's see. Oh, so you just flush. Okay. So what happens actually here? Also, some other problems are getting some solves, but generally it's age. So we read a number of test cases. Okay, print start. And flush. Read an integer the length of the array. Oh, length can be actually a bit bigger. How do I actually solve this problem? We want to know if the number of subsequences or subsets, which is the same, with GCD1 is even. So we'll do some queries, wrong language. Then we'll read a string. It's incorrect. And I think we want to exit one. Yeah, if exit 0, it's also reasonable. Okay, I don't know straight away how to solve it. We will leave it as it is now. So somebody is solving B and D also got some solves, and G. This G big LCM is the smallest positive integer which is divisible by all integers in range from A to B. Given three positive integers A, B, C, find the integers which is BLCM, for which BLCM AB is divisible by C times to the power of n. That sounds a little bit too easy. No, that's too easy. That's too easy. Guys, you should not have done that. Because I'm pretty sure that I know how to solve it. So you want to count the power in which C divides LCM of range, which means it's the biggest power in which C divides any number in that range. And I assume that we want to do the following. So clearly we cannot loop from A to B and just gain everything. But what we can do we can count the number of divisible, count numbers divisible by divisor in some range. Now that I want to look like this. Actually, what should I place here? I want it to be c to the power to that power, but I assume that it may be a little bit too much. Okay. I actually want to count divisible up to some number, and count divisible in range will be count divisible from right divisor minus count divisible up to left and then divisor. Or if it's inclusive, then probably I want something like that, and it means that this number is also inclusive. I don't really know, is it that simple? I think it is. Undivisible in range A, B, divisor. And I want to print power, new line, break. If it has not nothing has happened, although I believe it's not possible, but I will print 0 just in case. To 0. Okay. I'm a bit worried about what if like c is too big and we compute 64th power of it. But I think that I don't have to worry, given that we only have like that many test cases. I think it's fine. I think I don't even need pi. How about this? Our queue is long or what? Oh, okay. So far, so good. Wait, what? Well, that's unexpected. So got 10 points for small a, b, and c, and then for larger values we already have some problems. How is that possible? You know, let's test. Oh. Let's ask about 100 because why not? And I ask something like, I don't know, 5, 32, and 1000. 0. Makes sense. Oh, if c is not prime, If C is, yeah, I just did something very stupid. Okay, whatever. Wait, can I factorize? I think I can't. I think I can't even factor it. What do you mean? Oh, wait, do I have to? No, I don't have to. No, I mean, we gained 10 points, but that was just very stupid. How do I quickly factor numbers? I mean, the best I can do is... Okay. I think it will return a list of pairs tuples. Specifically when the first sync is factor and the other sync is power. And I want to select for every factor in factorization. I still want to loop over these guys, and I want to ask about factor to this power with all difference. So that I want to ask about this sync. And I don't want to print, but rather I want to say global power equals minimum of global power and power. Break. My idea is that you want to count, of course, separately over different guys. Global power over all different prime divisors of a number. And if you want to kind of have many powers of 8, you can slot in. And you probably want to do it like that, so step by 8. May result in a bit large powers here, but I think we don't have to worry about it because the number of prime factors of n is small. But I still have my doubts. There was sieve somewhere. Where is this sieve? J? Was it J? Okay. Actually, I know why we needed all of that. But whatever. Last time we learned that we can afford sieve up to 10 to the 7th. Even though it returns a lot of unnecessary information. Something like this is canonical. Get a list of primes. Something like that. Prime and power. But it has its limitations. Like here we will only loop over primes which are up to 10 to the 7th. And therefore, we may face issues. Like the resultant number may be a square of a prime. The sounds is fast enough, so I will leave it here. What if I ask you to add like this? Well, that also kind of works. Now this is like there are issues. If n is a product of several primes, of two primes, which are kind of big, then we want to find out about it. Now that is good enough to get ourselves 60% of the points, I think. Mass is not defined, okay. Listen that import errors are easy to fix, right? The sieve took some time, but when it finally executed, we gained our answer, which works somewhat. Like it works if C is never equal to 1. Okay, so C always has some factors, which we will find, and okay, yeah, I think it's good enough for 60 points. One 4.4 seconds. Our sieve takes a lot of time to execute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easier, boys. Okay, what if I reduce my sieve? Huh? Like the sieve is... I think we did not gain any more points from that. Now this should be a wrong answer. Guys? Guys? It has to be wrong answer. Yo, what? That doesn't work. Guys, you have 4 test cases where I can report it. Because, hey, I only see up to this. It means that if you take a product of 2 primes, which are greater than 10 to the 6, and give me range where the product of these primes is not present, but each of the primes on its own is present, then the answer is 1, but I will output 0. So that is incorrect. I mean, yo, I will just craft a test case. Between 1 million and 1 million. And I don't know, 100, we should have several primes there. Yep, just like this. So what I want is 0, 0. Let's go with 37 and 39 because they are twins. So C is equal to this. Test. And both of these numbers should be present. Oh, we can just use them as like 1,037, 1,039. The expected answer is 1, we will print 0. I'm pretty sure. Invalid literal for base. Oh, because I need a number of test cases. Yep, here we go. Oops. I have one extra one here, but it doesn't matter, right? I mean, no, it kind of matters, but if we rerun, we should still get 0. We are prime and C equals A times B. The test cases are weak. Consider the tests in which A and B are prime and C equals times B. with the wrong solution. Consider the test in which A and B are prime greater than 10 to the 6 and C is their product. If you see up to 10 to the 6 as I did, your code will print 0 where the expected answer is 1. Answer. Your answer will be 0. I'm not asking for hints or test cases, right? I already solved the problem, so it's like just letting them know that something is wrong with the problem. Yeah, I got excited. I was just wondering. I hope the guys get it and do something about it, because it's not particularly fun to get accepted with wrong solution. But that's good, because actually the leaderboard, the leaderboard, right? They don't know how to solve it, so we're kind of good. We should solve B and D. Which one is getting more attention? I think let's open it with D. Because we already read B and it doesn't sound very nice to implement it with. Somebody is crazy here. Okay. Solving C. Is C that bad? Video Game Pro. Oh, that's long. That's very long to read. We will solve it towards the end of the contest. So far, we are sort of lagging behind a bit. In problem D, we are given a tree containing n nodes. The nodes are numbered 1 through n. The root node is R. Every node in that tree is associated with the value xu, the value of the node u. You have to answer q queries, and each query will be given a pair of integers, and you have to calculate the bitwise end of all values of case child in the subtree of node u. If there is no case child in that subtree, then the answer will be -1. Who is case child? I don't understand. They are like on given depths, right? I think they are like on given depths. So, okay. We read several test cases. I'm still wondering what is wrong, actually, if we just DFS. Oh, well, okay, we will have to merge subsets. We'll have to merge just sets. And I don't know how to do it in Python, so here we go. Also, this will have to be gone. And I need Visual Studio Tools 80, I suppose. Oh, I may have accidental created a problem for myself, which I will have to resolve soon. I think bits, I may have done something to my bits./std_c++ file. Can't open bits, okay, whatever. There are only 5 tests, okay. First line contains number of queries and root. Next, n-1 lines contain an edge. We also have to decrement r. Okay, we read these guys. Next q lines will have a pair of integers uk representing each query. Okay. No, I need query ID. will put back in place back because it's a pair. Think ID of the query and then depth. Now this is all necessary because we want vector of answers that therefore will need ID. We'll process queries as we go in DFS order. Capturing everything it will take in vector, it will return pns. And pns is no, I think the using syntax is preferable. In pns is a pointer to answer. And all that we want. No, I think merge does not. Oh, it returns. Okay. All that we want is to merge these guys. So we merge pointers because otherwise we would copy everything into here, and that's not great. First size is bigger if smaller than second size. Then we want to swap them. And then for the key value in a second, I think that first add key getting bitwise ended with value and return first. That's what I think. On a new line, yeah, whatever. How do I okay, I usually put a space here. It'll be very nice today. So we want DFS to do some work for us, and it will work as follows. So initially we create an empty map, and we say that map at no. We also, I agree, we also need to know depths, the current depths. Why? Because we'll need it. And I also think that we need some vector like used size n. So used at vertex is true. For outer vertex w, which is neighbor of our vertex, if it's not used, DFS. Map at depths. Here we depths plus 1. Map at depths should get oh, I did not read the values which are before the edges. Okay. Here we go. X at vertex. If it's not used, then map should get merge of map and DFS of its children with increased value of depths. Probably like that, right? And then we should process all queries that have anything to do with that vertex. Answer at index I should get map at k minus d. Line 9, syntax error star. I keep forgetting how do you do that. Isn't that first goes the types that you already know and then the types that you want to declare? I don't write this often. No, but that's correct. First you have a type and then you declare. Let me just look at my short and not short. My solution once again. Why don't use type defs here? Just say like, yeah, whatever is this, just use this. I don't know. Oh wait, maybe it's because I just want to say this, no? Function and undeclared function. Oh, okay, so apparently it works now, right? Or at least it compiles, which is halfway done. Excuse me, why exactly? Oh, the answer is -1 if there are no children. Okay, that only should change one line. Not map count k minus d e gets -1, else it should do its sync. Oh, I did not recompile. Should I just, okay. So it still does not work for some reason. Did I do anything differently here? Well, here I deleted actually the ones that I did not use. Of course, as usual, did not recompile it. Nope, still wrong. Okay, NQR, right? NQR, then and space separated integers values. Next n-1 lines contain n-1 lines contain an edge. Pair of queries. I don't know what can go wrong actually. I decrement every vertex that I see. What if I run it just like this without DFS? Oh, it already has some problems. What may be the problem? Okay. Imagine that I don't read queries. Will it help? Yes, so reading queries is wrong for some reason. Oh, because vector QS does not have a size. It should have a size of n. The answers are incorrect. Okay, let's take a look. So we ask about... Wait, where do the queries begin? We have 7 edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 edges. Then the queries begin 3, 2. Which means that... wait, is it still an edge? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 2, 2. Interested in second child of node 2, which are 5, 6, 7, 8. And bitwise AND of these values. So last 4, right? I admit. Then how did it even happen that we gained 0? Oh, is it because it's 0 by default? Oh. Okay, if first count k, then we can do this. Else, first k, yeah, 0 is not natural element for bitwise AND. What am I doing? So stupid. It may not solve the... Oh, no, I think it solves... No, it does not solve everything. Oh, probably k plus d. No, d plus k, that's the correct way to look at this. 10, 10 minus 1, 4, 10, 23, let's go. GCC 9.2. Okay, 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 okay. Dashboard. What are the current standings? Wow, somebody is crazy. He solved like almost all problems. But when? That's like insane. What? I mean, okay, you may be, like, you were just writing problems, right? And not submitting. And for some reason you decided to submit all of them at once. That is possible, but that's like really crazy. I don't know. Some random new account. Other new account. Okay, underscores or non-grades. Okay. The guide does not have. The guide does not have a Code Forces profile. Has some random not programming videos. Solve all problems in. I must be very stupid, but I mean, D is not an easy problem. D is not an easy problem. Well, only 5 people solved it, and you're telling me. Okay. They can't solve F for some reason. That's very sus. I don't know how to explain it. To write that much code in that little minutes, that is interesting tactic. I mean, normally, if you just write code and then submit, you write code and then you submit. It's not like you write 9 problems and then submit them with regular intervals. The time should be the same if you are using that strategy. I don't believe that he had to wait like 1 minute to solve the problem. Between submissions, like, you're not waiting for your submission to get judged if you use this strategy, you just send everything. And then solve. Okay, whatever. We still have very possible scores, although somewhat questionable also. So like first 60 minutes of the contest you do nothing, and then you just start solving problems at the speed of an international master on Code Forces. That's an interesting strategy. Anyways, I'm getting a bit distracted. I remember reading this problem. I did not read this problem, which may be bad for us. I mean, I've seen that some problems solve it, right? Problem I was solved by some people here, so it's clearly possible. The hidden island. It's believed that the hidden island of Treasure Land, oh, by the way, I don't see timer in half screen view, it's not cool. Has many unsolved mysteries and undiscovered treasures. Captain Jack, along with his team, found the new hidden islands. After roaming on the islands for a few days, he found a closed cave over the mountain. He believed that the hidden treasure was inside the cave. On the cave wall it was written saying the magical spell will open the cave door. The spell was also written there, but he could not read it because some letters were missing. He tried to guess the missing letters but failed. Being disappointed, he looked down and found some letters written on the ground. Putting the letters in missed places of the spell, he completed the spell and the cave door opened. Let's see if you can complete it too or not. Let S be the unfinished spell that was written on the wall. S may contain lowercase English letters and question mark symbol. You will also begin K missing letters. Each of the question mark symbols must be replaced by one or more letters from the K missing letters. Also, all the missing letters must be used, as there can be several possible ways to form the spell. We want to know the lexicographically smallest one. Okay, that sounds interesting. That actually does not sound that hard. And it doesn't sound hard at all. Not that like I have immediate solution in mind, but I think it's not difficult. Will you give me, please? Okay, so first I get number of test cases, then I get this one. K and missing letters. Not that we need K, but whatever. I mean, K is length of missing, so. Is it always possible? Do they guarantee that number of missing characters is small? Will not be less than the number, okay. How do we solve this problem? I think that we should sort missing, right? If it is possible, actually. I don't remember if it's possible to sort a string in Python. What kind of programmer am I? I don't even remember if it's possible to sort a string in Python. String object has no attribute sort, makes sense. How about that? Okay. No output for us, but that's expected. I also want to count question marks in S. For every character in S, if character is not equal to question mark, I should just append it to my result. Not return, but rather print. Otherwise, let's start in reverse, because I want while n missing is greater than or equal to k to n. First of all, I want to decrement by 1. So now n is remaining question marks. while it's greater and missing last is smaller than next non-question mark. How do I want to know next not question mark in S. Okay. E, I assume. And NXT M is equal to M, or there's no next non-question mark, or it is smaller than this body. Smaller or equal, I actually think. Then R plus equals missing pop. If we run out of letters, of question marks, then we should just push everything. At least we did it as late as possible. Oh no, actually if it's equal, we are interested in next different character of I and missing -1. How do you even do this? Next different character. If it's bigger, then it makes sense to insert. Now, if it is smaller, then it does not make sense to insert. So next different. Oh my. Order of next missing minus order of A, I think. That is getting a little bit long. But my idea is that let's do it like this. if not and or this, and then we have 26. How much time do we have left? 1 hour. Okay. So for every letter, we want to have the position of the next different character. If the current character is question mark, then we ignore it. Otherwise, range 26. For every letter we say like, well, if asset I order of s of I minus order of A is equal to J, it basically means that Si is equal is letter with index J in the alphabet. And we also ignore it. Else next different of I wait. This may be a question mark. No, I think I found it. Yeah, I think I found it. So for last one, we don't care. Otherwise, if yeah. If s is not equal to question mark and is I plus 1 is not equal to question mark and si is not equal to si plus 1 for j in... Oh no, we want for specific position. Not just next different. Okay, so if current character is question mark, then next different is the same as next different at the next index for every j. Otherwise it's not a question mark. I'm having a logical problem here. For every letter of the alphabets, I check if it is not this, I should somehow tell what is the position of next different after next letter after I, which is different from J. My problem is that the current character actually tells me about what is next different of the previous guys. So I feel like Like here I have to update like this. And here I have to write like this. I don't know, that's very confusing. Pop from empty list. How did I manage to do that if length missing is greater than n and n is not 0? Excuse me, sir? Sir? How did I manage to pop from an empty list if I explicitly check that length missing is at least n? Which is at least 0. N is equal to missing is equal to okay, yeah, while not and missing. I'm printing a bit too much. Why? I'm printing something extra, but I don't understand where. I don't know, it's strange. Okay, so we have a problem. Here we we have to substitute at least one letter in, right? So we will always substitute the smallest letter because it makes the most sense. And then we go. No, but I had a different idea in mind. That doesn't test anything, I think. The idea I have in mind is that if we have BA, I don't know, something like this, and we can insert a bunch of B's and C's. See, we only insert one, because we want this A to be as high as possible. And two more interesting cases is when it's C and B and when it's C. As you may see, when it's B, then it doesn't matter. We add one C at the end. Oh, I should change it to look like this. Yeah. Okay, now I'm pretty confident that it does what I would like it to do. And the question becomes whether it does what it should do. Oh, they had Python 3.8? Okay. Am I worried about the speed? I don't think so. Oops. And we also got CPU limit exceeded for this problem. Subproblem. Interesting. How much time? 50 minutes. Not doing great. In high school competition. Yes, we read input. We ask what is the length of the input. We create next different. Next different will contain the at ji will contain the position of the character that is next different from character j, starting from position I plus 1 or something like that. So what we do is we loop over all characters in a reverse order. Ask if the current symbol is not question mark, and for every letter we check if it is this symbol, then next different in previous position is equal to next different in this position. Because like this character does not tell us anything about this position. Otherwise, if it's different, then we just say, okay, next different from j at position I minus 1 is I, because we are here and we know about it. Otherwise, if it's a question mark, then everyone gets the next value that it should get. And we say like, okay, k missing, k is number of missing letters. We cast it to integer. We say like, okay, missing will be sorted list in reverse. So because we will pop from it, it means that we will try to use letters from the end. And end letters, last letters, they have they are the smallest if you sort in reverse, which makes sense. I'm a bit worried about it. Okay. Say I stripped missing. And at the end I print R plus this body. Okay. So we sorted missing in reverse. And now say like how many question marks there are in the string and what is our result. We loop our characters of S in order. If character is not a question mark, then we have to take it into our result. Otherwise we say okay, there is one less question mark remaining in stock for you in string, therefore we decrease it. We have to keep track of this because we'll need at least n missing. We'll need length of missing to be at least n by the time we are done. Actually, I don't know what this thing is doing. why the result is like this. Actually, no, I don't understand what produces an extra character. What produces an extra character? So, like we have to put at least one character here. So we will do this. And we will take the smallest because we are minimizing whatever we are minimizing. And we say, as long as missing has more elements than we have to leave for the remaining of the string. Oh, we have... How about that, buddy? As long as missing has more elements than we have question marks in the remaining of the string, it means that we can use one letter. Then we think, what is actually position of the first different character from our missing character, starting at I. So like, because we want to know, like, when, even if we insert missing, will it decrease or it won't? If there is no next different character from it, then usually we want to insert. Oh, is it so actually? Wait. Is it so? What if I have like B, C and then BCC? No, BBC. No, that works, No, there is next different character. If you do it like this, then there's also next different character. I don't know, it works. So we think if we insert the current character, the last missing, then our string will become next missing plus something. I think it doesn't match. Okay. As long as there is no next different character, or our current character is actually smaller than next missing, as a next different character from itself. It means that by inserting this character, it looks like we will decrease the string. I don't know. Oh, we have some debug output. Let's remove that. Bingo tourist ABC. I don't know. looks like this is producing the expected results. Which problem is it? I? Is it problem I? I don't know. Let's try to submit again. No, we're getting wrong answer, and I don't understand why. I just don't understand why. There should be something that I'm doing wrong, which I don't understand. Okay, well, what other problems do we have? We need to take a small break to think about this. So clearly B and C appear to be possible. H also, quite a high success rate. Let's think about B, and B asks us about how many palindromic strings pass through something. Oh, they only have cell letters A and B? What? No, any lowercase alphabet letter, not only A, B, C. Like if you're passing through some location, no, for every location, that's insane. Even if n equal to, I don't know, for every location that's too much. I'm not solving this problem. Even if it has some nice acceptance ratio. At 9 minutes. What the fuck is that? Okay. Chefin is playing a video game. In this game there will be n buildings in a row. I's building has height CHI and some gold coins CI on top of the building. At the beginning of each round he will land on top of a random building. When he's on top of a building, he can collect coins from that building. He can also jump from one building to another. He can jump from I's building to J's building if the J's building is not taller than I's building and there is no building between these two buildings, which is this is some version of jump games. I'm pretty sure there are like 8 versions and one of them is this. Q rounds. Okay. Oh, I'm pretty sure that this is that problem. Oh, we already read test cases, so. H equals a list map input splits. Next is gold. Q equals int input. No, like here all will compute answers for all buildings, I think. Okay, I think we should just look at all of them. Is there a freeze period? I don't think so. Three, four, five, six. Whatever, can we please get out of the way? 7. Okay. Why does it take so long? Yes, yes, I remember that problem. Oh, but that's not maximum number of indices, which I heard and think is too different. Like in our problem, all the changes is that indices have weights. Sure. Oh, I think the reason was like you jump. Yeah, now I remember. Inverse topological order, whatever you say. I was not an Olympiad, not a competitive programmer while writing this code. So obviously it's very bad. G is equal to a list for each m. Do we have enough time? I think we have 30 minutes to rewrite this in Python. For G in range. What is D actually? That's not good. Who is D? Oh, but it must D away? Okay, we will just ignore this for now. Idea is correct. You want to build a graph and then you want to DFS over it. Oh, we're never going back, so it doesn't matter. See, I want the highest building, which is lower than my current building, on the left and on the right. For every position, I want to only consider guys who are smaller than me one way and another, and choose greater of 2. Coins are non-negative, right? Coins are non-negative. Well, thank you for that. Sorted container. Sorted containers, not collections. Smaller, 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 smaller. It's a 0. Because mono will be a decu of pairs. Well, index. Or not just index, you know, just index. Because here, if you think about it, mono is mono Q. Pop. Mono stack, actually. Okay. Oh no, I want them actually to contain values. Okay. On a 0 will be value, and then there will be index. So I append actually height and then value. While it's less than or equal to, I can remove it. So our mono Q is decreasing. Now I want to find who is the tallest one. Yeah, that's it. So G of V append tallest. If tallest is not equal to -1, then I add an edge. no, coin set V for vertex in G of V, answer get so DFS of V answer DFS V. But that's only one way. And then I also want to do it the other way around. Maximum recursion depth exceeded. How is it even possible? Okay. It's only possible if G contains cycles. Or we can only jump to the lower one, right? No, if it's not taller. Yo, excuse me, sir. But then you are able to... If several buildings are of the same height, and we are able to infinitely jump between them. Oh, but then we don't collect anything? How is it? Why? Yes, we create a cycle. Yes, I admit. Still. It's very annoying. So we created our tree, but unfortunately our tree contains cycles for every pair of buildings of equal lengths. We have edge which goes two ways. That is not a major problem, because all such things can be replaced with one vertex and the same amount of gold. But I don't understand how to express it in code. That's just... Yeah, vertices 1 and 4, 1 and 1, 1, 4, 1 and 3 are linked together. Should I say, okay, if I say that I have links only to lower vertices, then it will work, but it will be a bit wrong. That is an annoying problem. Yeah, as you can see, we don't collect this then, because we did not think about it. Say that we have a graph of equal vertices. It's equal. And so it's tallest, we don't do anything like that. We just say that G equal of V, we append this value. Now we want to find connected components of GV, GE, and sort of merge them together. I'm lazy. I already wrote too much myself. Time is running out. The competition turned out to be unexpectedly complicated for me. So we now know the idea of every connected component. I add n to distinguish them from everything else. If CID of V is equal to -1, then we can just do our regular thing. Else, we still want to call all smaller guys. Also for vertex in components at CIDV minus whatever. We want to call DFS of them but they will in turn, okay, whatever. It means that we are in the component. Somebody called us. When we look over this connected component, we want to call DFS of U. They will return their normal values. Well, we can't use C because... Okay. We can question what is the total gold in this component, because everyone is reachable in this component. No div, okay. Why is it, why did you, honestly that makes no difference to the idea of the problem. Why would you do that to me? Okay, let's think. N plus length of connected components. Answer at v is not equal to -1, return answer at v. No, that's wrong. If it is equal, then we'll do something. If it's not equal, if it's a normal vertex, then we just ask about this. So its answer at v is this. Otherwise, if it's connected component, then we should ask about every vertex here. M should be what? You know what? M should be maximum of S minus cost of U plus answer at U for U in CCV. U in CCV, answer at U should get max. Oh, I did not put any answer to that connected component, am I right? Answer at v equals 0. What takes so long? I don't understand. We don't even get connected components or what? What's going on? We don't even get to that point for some reason. This is hilarious. Okay, do we get to that point? No, we don't. Why? Pen 1 and negative 1, negative 1. I don't understand what's so funny. Oh, because here we don't pop. List index out of range because for you in CCV, list index out of range. Oh, because answer plus M. Is it so? 44-2023, okay. Must be wrong answer on like every test, but whatever. Don't tell me it's DLE. CPU limit exceeded for 3 seconds? That's crazy. Well, we gained some points, which will help us in the leaderboard, but not like significantly. Also, we only have 8 minutes to go, so what can be the reason of wrong answer? Okay, we can try to submit it in PyPy, right? Am I right? Is there any difference between these guys? I subtracted one here. I did. What's the difference between this and this? Several queries? But like here I also had several queries, no? So what's the difference? More test cases, okay. Several queries, okay. Anything else? I don't understand. What we do is we first compute answer try to compute answer for all connected components. Oh, maybe that's wrong. Maybe you have to compute simultaneously. Okay. No, but then like why previous one? You do have to compute simultaneously. Okay. height of I is not equal to L, and after we compute all of these guys, we compute component. Enumerate. No, still wrong. Why actually? I don't understand. I have almost no time to fix anything. Or G+1. This string looks out of range for G. Okay, that kind of fixed something. Not sure if it fixed the entire problem, but let's try. If it DLE is because of Python, then I don't know. Wrong answer. Well, what is the difference? Difference between these cases is nothing, actually. This should be different. If component ID of list at J+1 is different, component ID of that body, why? Oh, probably of index 0. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Yep. Oof, it's always satisfying to solve a problem on the last minute, regardless of how many problems you solved overall. It's always very, very pleasant. Some people are mad. I don't know how this happens. No, that looks like humane. That does not look that humane, but maybe I know nothing. Okay, we clearly should have tried more. That is an interesting contest. I should absolve it, at least like this, and then this clearly also. Yeah, also a couple of necessary penalties here and there. Overall not bad. I mean, like, this competition had some 250. No, that's not the last page. This competition had 459 participants. and we are ranked 6th, I believe. Yep, 6. The 6 problems solved out of 10. Far from ideal performance. I saw that we can spend time like on random things, but apparently we don't. So I should have focused on problems better. But I still think that some of these submissions are somewhat questionable. I mean, okay, suppose that you solved our problems. Like, without submitting them, you just solve them. And then you say like, okay, now I have 9 problems solved, I will start submitting them. And you go like, okay, A, B, C, J, I, D, G, E, H. Very reasonable order, I must say. Very reasonable order. So I'm not sure what this is all about. Like, this looks very humane, it's just my fault that I was solving problems very slowly. Oh, this is a very strange order in which problems were solved, but I can understand you. Like, maybe you want like interactive problems and you start looking for this one. So. But yeah. Definitely I did not solve, like, it's my fault that I did not solve a lot of easy problems. I don't know about B, I didn't even have time to read F. I don't know what to solve that. Interactive, I just didn't want to solve interactive. I believe that is solvable. Hidden island, I'm genuinely confused. What I did wrong here, I should have solved it. So yeah, just like this, apparently high school competitions in Bangladesh are quite intense. I mean, if there are 4 people who can solve almost everything, they must be like grandmasters on Code Forces, if you compare with what I can do. Even if you think like, okay, I had a bad day, right? And probably I perform like candidate master, not like master. Then 700 should be master, 800 is international master, 900, so 9 solved problems still sounds like grandmaster to me. Especially with those times. Okay, then good for Bangladesh. I mean, they are having a great IOI team. If this is the level of high school competition, of participants in high school competitions. That's what I'm going to say. And that's it for me for today. And I'll see you next time around. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.